What about now, guys? Do we have our audio? Every week, man, something goes wrong every week. Oh my goodness. All right, we're back. I can see the audio's turned on. All right, let's try this again. Go ahead and throw it in the live chat that the audio's working. There we go. All right. Sound is on now? Okay, good, guys. All right, cool. All right. Welcome once again. Thanks as always for hanging out upstairs with us and for checking out the channel. I'm your host, PDubs, and welcome to the episode 3 of Multicade Mondays. This is our third and final episode of the year because I perfectly plan on taking the next 2 weeks off, predominantly of YouTube and social media and stuff, spend time with the family. I do have several produced videos that are going to be published. I have scheduled over the next week or two, including our year in review for Arcade1Up, our year in review for AtGames, top 5 reasons why you should or should not purchase that Killer Instinct cabinet, as well as a few other videos that are already done, scheduled. That way the channel just doesn't go dark for 2 weeks, but you'll see some stuff get posted. Let's say hello to everybody in the live chat. We got King Creole is here. We got Adam12 is here. Mike Caputo. Color is off. Mustache is green. What are you talking about, man? Take 2. Everyone's teasing me about the microphone. My mustache is not green. It can't be green. Is it really? Could be the lights. It's not green, though. It's not green. It's probably the gray hairs reflecting. I don't have my chroma keys turned on. I'm glad you liked my iiRcade video. iiRcade is going to be our spotlight of the week. Jason M is here, and look at that pop up. Todd Cottrell has joined the Loft Army. Thanks, Todd, for joining the Loft Army. Let me move that over a little bit. Yeah, let's move that over a little bit. There we go, right there. Gunther's here. Green eggs and ham. How can it look green? It doesn't look green. You guys are just messing with me. All right, so one thing I noticed when I watched the replay of the first 2 episodes of Multicade Mondays is I went really fast. And I think a lot of that is nerves and stuff, like when you're trying new things and learning new things and playing around with different technology and all that kinds of stuff. So what's interesting now is we're going to try and slow it down. And that way we can get through all the material as well as spend plenty of time with everybody in the live chat without rushing. That's also another reason why I started early. I got my coffee, I got my Kingdom Hearts cup, and all that stuff. As you can see, these are green. They're showing up green, so no, I do not have my chroma key turned on. So, I don't know why you guys are saying my mustache looks green. It must just be the lights reflecting off the gray hairs. So, anywho. So, several topics for tonight's show. We're going to have our arcade modding vendor of the week, and it's going to be Uplay Arcade. We're going to talk about Gunther Vincent, as well as his partner in crime, King Creole, what they've been up to with Uplay Arcade, as well as what they have coming in 2022 with Leagues Online. So we got a nice little interview to play for you guys for them. We're also going to talk about Intec Gaming Nintendo Switch. Whatchamacallit, there have been review videos, a lot of people have done content on it. Figured we could go through some really cool arcade games that you can play on an Arcade1Up cabinet, arcade-style games, using that Intec Gaming Switch. When you basically turn one of your old Arcade1Up cabinets that was maybe a dedicated cabinet with 2 or 3 games on it, and you want to bump it up, turn it into a Nintendo Switch Multicade. And of course, iiRcade is going to be our Spotlight Multicade of the week. I figured since I already released the year in review for that one, it makes sense to kind of do the Spotlight tonight, because during the week, you'll see my year in review videos for AtGames and Arcade1Up. Hope you guys check them out. Also, this Wednesday, I was invited by Zod Rider. If you guys know Zod from our arcade and gaming community, the POW, Kneel Before Zod. Zod invited me on. He wants to interview me on his show, so make sure you check out the Zod Rider show on YouTube, subscribe to his channel, and keep an eye out for next Wednesday for that interview. We're just going to talk about YouTube and retro gaming. Nothing crazy, nothing like that. All right, guys, I want you to keep your live chat comments coming. What we need to do is we need to talk about our vendor of the week. All right, today we got a special interview for you guys on Multicade. All right, today we got a special interview for you guys on Multicade Mondays. We got Gunther here and King Creole. How are you, gentlemen? Welcome to the show.
What's going on? What's going on?
Now, you guys have your hands in a lot of cookie jars at the moment, Gunther. Everywhere I turn, you got your name on something, man. I'm pretty impressed.
I'm spreading myself pretty thin, man. But I love the community. I love playing games. That's what I grew up doing, and so that's what we do. we make products and we play games. So here we are.
Yeah. So let's kind of talk about that. So when it comes to making products, you run Uplay Arcade, which is our vendor of the week. And can you kind of tell people what Uplay Arcade is, what kind of products you guys do is for modding these multi-K cabinets or arcade cabinets and all that kinds of stuff? What's the story here with what you got going on, buddy?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I want to thank you, man, for letting us come on your show and for making us your featured vendor. That's awesome.
I appreciate that, man.
Oh,
thank you so much.
That's really awesome, man. Uplay Arcade came about maybe about 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago now, when the At Games Legends Ultimate came out. There was a need to reinforce the trackball, as everybody found out very, very quickly.
And very quick.
I came up with a little design making a ballpoint pen, and it worked very well. And then I noticed another guy made a real design, actually a 3D printed design. And this is way before I even did 3D printing. And so I contacted Sheldon. I said, man, I kind of come up with that, but you refined it and made it amazing. Let's run with yours. I'll tell you what, I'll learn how to 3D print. You teach me how to 3D print. I'll sell these things and I'll cut you a profit off of it. He says, all right, let's do it, man. I don't want to have to print them. I'm tired of printing them. I'm tired of I'd rather work with the sauce. That's what Sheldon does, is works on one sauce. So
he's a chef.
So let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's partner up. So that's what we did. That was the first product. And we sold a freaking ton of those things. And then things just started progressing, I'd come up with a different product, and I started to learn how to actually create 3D products myself. So that was really the secret to it, was I actually learned how to create the products myself instead of relying on Sheldon to make them. So once I could create my own, then I was going nuts, man. I was up all night making all kinds of different stuff. And so as you see, I got the screw hole covers. Sheldon created the screw hole covers. He created the shim kit. He created the sensor shelf for the aim track gun. He created the trackball cover. He created the button covers. I mean, Sheldon did a bunch of stuff. Since then, I have refined all this stuff to a little bit different quality and capability. But Sheldon came up with the original idea. So he's the boy. He's the man. Everybody's best friend, like I always say.
Old Sheldon.
Sheldon's a great guy. Yeah. So anyway, we kind of just went on from there, just going nuts. And so as soon as the iiRcade came out, that's what made me make the restrictors. I don't know what it was, but one day I just had this idea. I was like, man, I think I was playing Robbie Roto. Funny enough. And I was like, man, this sucks, man. I can't play this at all. I got to come up with something. So I had the idea of just clipping it over the side of the deck. And, this is not new. Making a restrictor on the outside is not new. People have been putting them in the hole and all this different stuff forever, but nobody has clipped it over the side to actually hold it in place. And so I just had this idea one day. I said, holy crap, let's whip it up. So 2 revisions later, and we have the finished version I sell all the time now for the iiRcade. And those things, as we know, work very, very well. Crazy enough, just something off the top of my head. It actually works. So you win sometimes, I usually
roll the dice and hit.
Yeah. Well, I finally won, so it happens very rarely, but I did on this one. And so, and I'm sure a lot of people know the story of the At Games finagle mess, where I tried to do it for the At Games products. And well, those things are made so inconsistently that I went through 18 revisions of those things. And
was it 18? Really?
18 revisions. Wow. Yes. Sending them out to all kinds of different guys, man, helping me test these things, because my machine itself is off center. So I don't have a reference on my own cabinet. So I had to send it out to about half dozen different guys. Stratton, Scott Mahan, those boys, they helped me out tremendously, taking revision after revision, testing it for me, taking pictures, all that stuff. Those guys were awesome to help me with all that, man. I really appreciate you guys doing that too. But yeah, it was a long road, and we're not over it. It's been bumpy, and it never will be smooth on the At Games ones. The pros are the most resilient and the most consistent. But other than that, the 1.0s, I'm not selling them anymore.
Yeah, what was really nice is you provided folks a solution, especially on the iArcade, where you have that 1-year warranty, an awesome warranty, right?
Mhm.
And if you wanted to hop in there and take their Square Gate that comes with their cabinet and play
Right.
4-player games, unfortunately, those games didn't work the best. Playing games like Burger Time and Karate Champ and stuff, games that require a 4-way gate, and then you turn around and you want to put maybe an octagonal gate or a 4-way gate inside the cabinet, you can't do it. You're going to violate your warranty, right? So this was a
Right.
great solution, snaps right on the cabinet and limits the joystick to 4 ways. And I have these as well on my iArcade, my Retromania wrestling cabinet on the Loft. And I can tell you what, man, these work. I play 4-way games so much better on using these gates. Now, um, and that of course keeps us from violating our warranty, because we would love to mod
Right.
these cabinets,
Oh yeah,
but that 1-year warranty is so
Crucial.
it's nice.
crucial, right?
It's
Like
nice.
when it comes to like At Games and Arcade1Up At Games, you get a 30-day warranty. Arcade1Up,
Yeah.
Arcade1Up, you get a 90-day warranty, right? So by the time the warranty is expired, you're ready to mod the hell out of that thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Put in, custom controls or better controls, gates or whatever you want to do, springs, buttons. But with the iArcade,
Quite frankly, in the
Yeah.
beginning, man, the Gen 1s, that's about as long as they lasted anyway. So you're ready.
Hey, I was gonna say that, Gunther.
So that's
30
kind of
days.
yeah. The Gen 3s now are nice though. I mean, the Big Blue, I got this thing sitting here. What a beautiful freaking cabinet, and the controls are great too, man. I have no qualms with the controls at all. I think they've really stepped up their game.
No lag either.
yeah, the Big Blue's a fun cabinet. I'm enjoying it so far. And also, you guys are now going to start doing some accessories for that cabinet.
Yeah.
I thought this was kind of funny because you love your 3D printing. Take a look at this, guys.
You're
Get
my
your-
boy, Blue.
You're my boy Blue speaker grill covers. I think that's kind of funny. What other little things do you think we might see from you for the Big Blue or any other cabinets coming soon? You got any teasers you can give us? Any sneak peeks?
I'm super busy with the products I have on hand right now, but I have about 10 products in the bag. I have a couple of different ones for Arcade1Up. I'm going to do some logo badges like I have for iArcade and At Games. I'm going to do a couple of those for Arcade1Up. I've been asked to do those, so I'm going to get a couple of those on there. The speaker grills you saw, those are going to be more prevalent. I'm going to add different designs to those. And I'm going to do joystick toppers as well that I have not done yet for the Arcade1Up. I have a couple of different designs for those as well that are going to be new.
Awesome.
You know what
Awesome.
I want to see? I want to make this boy work some more. He gets mad at me because I keep him working. But those screw holes on the Big Blue is triggering my OCD, man. I need some covers, man.
I have
It's killing me.
Arcade1Up screw hole covers. Yeah, I do have those too.
Yeah.
And I have
Perfect.
new element, so we could fix that.
Yeah, I need
Yeah.
that, man.
My Arcade1Up Big Blue review will be published very soon on my channel. And one of the
Cool.
comments you guys will hear during that review is, it looks like it went through a drive-by shooting.
Yeah,
I mean, it literally looks like it was Big Blue, like Bonnie
Oh,
and
man.
it looks like it was Bonnie and Clyde's Big Blue. There's
It's
so many.
killing me.
I can see
So many.
it's sandwiched in between other cabinets, and I can see 5 screw holes just looking.
Oh man,
And
please.
they stick out too because that blue is really bright. So yeah,
That's the problem. It sticks out.
we'll work on some screw hole covers for that. I already have them designed. I just have to.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll take care of that.
Now, the other item we wanted to touch base with you about is, not only are you our vendor of the week, but you guys also have been you guys have been big proponents of community getting together, playing online retro games together. You've had separate leagues for At Games. You've had the iArcade leagues, which just wrapped
Right.
up its season. But you guys have something pretty exciting coming down the pipeline here, launching next year. And I wanted to give you guys a platform to kind of let the community know what you got coming out and tell us why this is different and why they should consider participating because I'm noticing it doesn't say At Games Leagues. It doesn't say Arcade1Up Leagues. It just says Leagues, but we got all the companies listed. What is going on here, Gunther? What is this all about?
Well, we've been in this community for quite a few years now. I don't know, but I guess good 3 years. And
3 years, yeah.
The one consistent thing that we have noticed is that if somebody owns an Arcade1Up, more than likely they have an At Games product.
Fact.
They have an iiRcade, more than likely they got an Arcade1Up. I guarantee it. There's very rarely does somebody have one platform and they stay on that one platform. So we thought, man, why don't we just make one big banging show that houses all the platforms, all the home arcade esport platforms, and we, especially now that iiRcade is going to have online, Arcade1Up has online, At Games has online, we're ready to go. You know, we have been waiting for all this to finally hit, you know, and we finally have access to this online capability. And so it's finally time to hit these cabinets like they've been designed. And so that's what we've done with Leagues Online. It's going to be a multi-platform system, as you see, a multi-platform network. What's going to happen is as you play along, we're going to have weekly challenges. When you win a challenge, you will get a point. Now, if you win a challenge on the Pie Packer challenges or a challenge on the At Games challenges, you will get a point, and that point will go towards the season champion. So multi-platform wins will go towards the season champion, basically. So if you get the season or the weekly challenge for At Games, Arcade1Up, and Pie Packer, you get 3 points, basically. So we've created a thing that incentivizes multi-platform gameplay, online gameplay with your friends, and I think it's going to help the other platforms, quite frankly, as well. So if you are an Arcade1Up fan and you get to see what iiRcade has, you might want to buy an iiRcade now, you know, because you didn't know what it did before, but now you do. So I think it's going to be a really powerful platform for all the home arcade systems. And I think it's going to draw the community bigger and better. And I'm excited about it. I know Casey is too.
Yes. We've been, I was, to piggyback on what Gunther said, I met Gunther in online gameplay. And online gameplay has brought so many of us together. And we just want to pay homage and give back. And I think this is one of the ways that we get everybody involved.
Yeah. I look forward to beating you in every possible game.
Here we go.
You've been talking a lot of smack the last 12 months, so it's time. It's time.
It's time.
I will say I have seen Dub's scores, and that boy does have some good scores. So I
have a few.
I got a little bit of sweat pooling up here, but it's okay. I can practice.
We're gonna be ready for him.
I mean, I'm just an average gamer. I'm no expert. But we all have those games that we are proficient in, right? So you know what I mean. Like, I'll beat you in Magical Drop any day of the week, but you might beat me. You might beat me in Street Fighter. You know what I mean? It's pretty funny stuff.
That's what makes Leagues Online so good, and you can have multiple different challenges all the time. So I
got you in 10-yard fight, Dubs.
Oh. 10-yard fight.
I will crush anybody. I'm taking. Hey, you heard it here on PDubs show. I'm taking all challengers for 10-yard fight. So you heard it here first.
Besides Bill from Bash.
Oh wait, yeah. Besides Bill, Bill got me. Good one, Gunther. I forgot about that.
So Gunther or KC, tell me, this is January 6th. So what is going to happen on January 6th? What do people need to do? Where do they need to go? And all that kinds of stuff if they want to participate in this or even just to learn more about it.
Our main website is leaguesonline.live. We also have a Facebook page that we populate with all different community challenges and our challenges. So make sure to hook up on our Facebook page as well. And then we have a Discord. Leagues Online Discord. We will be doing as we do challenges, we will have the Discord open so you can jump in and talk to everybody live. We're going to do a little walk through on how to do our whole system where you can play and talk and all that kind of stuff on our first episode to kind of explain the whole system. So
it's all that kinds of stuff. You gotta say like PDubs or
all that kinds of stuff. Huh?
All that kinds of stuff. Well, this is exciting. What I'll make sure I do, guys, is if you haven't already noticed, links to all of this, the website, the Discord, everything is in the video description below. If you want to join Leagues Online and check out playing a bunch of online gaming with a fellow retro gamers. Give this one a shot. I think it's pretty exciting. I love the website. The website looks gorgeous. You put a lot of effort and time into that.
Thanks, man.
And look forward to. Hey, wait a minute. I'm in the wrong spot here. There we go. We gotta fix that. All right. But besides leaguesonline.live, where else can folks follow Gunther and King Creole? Would you guys want to pimp any more of your social media? Sure, especially on these big blue cabinets and things?
Sure. Casey, you go first.
King Creole. You can find me on all the platforms, social media, Big Blue, NBA Jam. I'm King Creole.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me on Facebook. I have my personal page, but you can check me out at Uplay Arcade. That's the store, uplayarcade.com. If you are interested in any home arcade accessories. And then the big page, leaguesonline.live. So those two places.
And if you need to find them on the At Games or iArcade leaderboards, find PDubs and look beneath PDubs. You'll find all their scores. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. Congratulations on being our vendor of the week, and good luck with Leagues Online starting January 6th. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll be right back after this.
Thanks, man.
All right, there you go, guys. That was our interview with Gunther and King Creole from Uplay Arcade, as well as from Leagues Online. So we talked about two things. We talked about their Uplay Arcade modding website, parts website, as well as what they have cooking in the hopper for online gaming in 2022. Let me know your feedback in the live chat, guys. Did you enjoy that interview? That interview ran a little bit long. Usually when I do a pre-recorded interview for this podcast, I'd like to keep them 10 minutes and under, but because we had so much to talk about, that one was about 15 minutes. So I appreciate you guys hanging around and getting all the information you can out of this kinds of stuff. Very excited with what they have going on. Very much looking forward to seeing in 2022 how that's going to work out. And the only way things like this can work out, whether it's Leagues Online, whether it's like the retro fighting game community, or I would love for those guys all to work together. As long as people are participating, so all you have to do is participate, and things like this can become a success and take off. So I find all this stuff pretty exciting. So thanks again to those guys, and let's dive on. So we got a few other topics that we want to cover tonight. Greatly appreciate all you guys taking time out of your Monday evenings to spend with me. Whatchamacallit, let's move over, guys, and I got a quick update about the retro online gaming. So over the last couple of weeks, if you've been catching my channel, I've been hyping the Knights of the Round race to the finish, side-scrolling beat-em-up tag team partner tournament that Rev and the Put Your Quarters on the Glass, and everybody have been hyping and promoting. It was just this Friday, and whatchamacallit, I kept telling everyone that I was going to win, and I didn't win. I do have an excuse, however lame it may be. Our internet crapped out. Michael B. the Game Genie was my partner, and we had just terrible latency and lag. Michael B. and I were competing against, I think, like 3 or 4 other teams to beat Knights of the Round. You have to play all 7 stages at once, and unfortunately, we didn't make it. We didn't even get to finish the game. We got kicked out like 2 or 3 times. The game completely froze, booted us out to the main menu. Both of us were playing on Wi-Fi. Michael B is notorious for having horrible Wi-Fi in his arcade where the Big Blue is. So that's one reason why, right? That's why he does all his live streams from his office where he has Ethernet. And of course, I had my Big Blue on Wi-Fi as well. But now I have an Ethernet cable running from the Big Blue. Plus, I'm going to be moving the Big Blue in right behind me here as well for future fighting game tournaments and stuff, because I can plug into the Ethernet pretty easily here in the office. So, minus that, though, congratulations to Kongs R Us, and I forget who his teammate was. Whoever his teammate was, they won the tournament, so just wanted to give a shout-out for that. How to Bachelor, $2 Super Chat. Thanks so much for the donation. Great interview. Dude needs green. on-screen help. I think he means green screen help. Yeah, I was teasing King Creole in the live chat. Got to work on that green screen, man. Got to work on that green screen. All right. So kudos to that. That was a pretty cool update. And man, I felt bad that our internet dropped out on us. I think even it kicked us out twice, and then on the third round, we made it to about the 4th stage. And by then, B and them had already finished it because we kept having to start over. So that kind of sucked. But it was still fun. We still had fun. We weren't upset or angry or anything like that. It's just unfortunate that we had bad connection. All right, guys, let's dive into the iiRcade. Let's dive into iiRcade. So iiRcade is going to be our spotlight of the week. How many of you caught my iiRcade 2021 year in review video? I know it was a little bit long. It was about 15 minutes. The original edit was 25 minutes. I did trim it down by 10 minutes. But even then, it was still a little bit long. You know, whenever you do this stuff and you edit things once or twice and then you post them, you always look at it again going, oh, I could have cut that. Oh, I could have cut that. Oh, I could have said that in a much shorter sentence. You know what I mean? But still, if you watched all 15 minutes, I think we did a pretty good job going over the entire year for the iiRcade. And, you know, they've been through a lot, this brand, if you think about it. Let's start getting some of your feedback on the screen here. Great video. It was good. Loved it. Not yet. Great video. Nicely done. Good video. Awesome video, PDubs. Thanks so much for the feedback, guys. You are awesome. If you haven't watched it, by all means, I encourage you to go watch it. Because I literally give you the dates and what happened. Spent a lot of time on that. You'll see something kind of similar for AtGames in the Arcade1Up year in review videos that'll be published later this week on my channel as well. It was really interesting to think about, you know, it was just 13 months ago they were having this game and brew night in Chicago. And you had like 10 or 12 fans there who got to touch the final production units for the very first time and experience them. And Prentice, he stole the show. Prentice got the first arcade cabinet. I mean, how many of these arcade companies hand deliver their products to consumers? The fact that Jong did that, hand delivered the very first iiRcade to Prentice, that was an awesome moment. And then, of course, iiRcade has been through all kinds of changes throughout the year in regards to their licensing, their partnerships, as well as the features that have been added to the cabinet. Now, I will say this. What I do like about iiRcade is when it comes to their firmware updates, if you think about it, guys, it was about every 2 months they rolled out a firmware update. If you think about it, every 2 months. Not weekly, not monthly, not once a year, every 2 months. So they spent a lot of time, quality control, checking, making sure that whatever feature they were adding, such as jukebox mode, such as the screen filtering options, pixel perfect, that all that stuff worked without any issues. And yeah, you can't prevent everything from happening, but they sure as heck had a lot less complaints on their firmware updates than other companies that have done firmware updates on their products. You have to admit that. So I do appreciate the fact that they take their time with these firmware updates, and that when they do roll out, you can feel pretty confident about your machine updating. We're going to talk about this in just a minute, guys. We're going to talk about this. I actually have something funny I want to show you guys. So stick around, guys. You don't want to miss the CES conversation. So iiRcade does a lot right. They did a lot of right things during the year. One of the funniest things, though, is, you know, the biggest negative feedback on this cabinet has always been the way the cabinet looks. And then, of course, the games included. During the year, they added a bunch of publishers and things like that. And, you know, you guys can check out here. Let's switch screens here. Let's get you a little background. Let's get you a little background noise going on here for you. 1 second. And let's do this. All right, give you something a little prettier to look at. So what's really interesting is, you know, these cabinets aren't the sexiest cabinets in the world, because they're not in that traditional North American shape, right? These candy cab type designs, people overseas tend to gravitate and love these a lot more than us pesky North Americans. However, myself personally, I never really minded it too much. My biggest complaint was we didn't have a light up marquee. And I'm really hoping that on the next generation of iArcade cabinets that we're going to see that we're going to see a light-up marquee. I think that would be a super big win. When you look at the quality of the buttons and the sticks, I mean, you got premium Sanwa sticks, the real thing. Although what stinks about them, though, is they do need a better spring. So if iArcade is listening on these stock controls, although you're giving us a Sanwa stick, you're giving us a weak spring inside the joystick. And if we're not allowed to open up and modify our control decks in order to get a better experience playing these games, whether we want to add a restrictor gate, octagonal gate, even though it has a square gate, it would be nice, though, if in future waves of these cabinets next year, you throw some better springs inside these joysticks, especially for that premium price. Last time I checked, springs are pretty cheap. I could order some from Focus Attack for pennies, like $1. I could order some springs for my joysticks and things like that. Let me know in the live chat, guys, if you agree with me on that feedback, because one thing that's funny about iArcade is they give us the best warranty. They give us a 1-year warranty, which is awesome. That's the warranty we want from all these companies on all these products, right? But if you do any kind of modifications, you void your warranty. The clone buttons, they do the job, and the joystick does the job as well. I just wish we could add additional springs to the joysticks, make them a little bit tighter. And, if the joystick feels a little short to you, you could unscrew the ball tops. You can add joystick extenders, those little extenders that'll bump it up another like ½ inch or so and stuff like that. And you're not opening your control deck. Things like that. At that discounted price, you can't bitch about the cabinet, especially with the build quality and online store. I think he's talking about the recent sales. And yes, it needs real T-molding as well. The tape is disappointing that's on here, but then again, I've had now this Dragon's Lair cabinet for over a year, and the tape hasn't peeled, hasn't torn, hasn't chipped, hasn't come off, anything like that. When I look at the molding that's glued on my AtGames Legends Ultimate, it did take about 2 years for my original 1.0 cabinet for that, the silver edging to finally start peeling. I still have some repair work I need to do on that cabinet. I need to re-glue that silver molding on. But a lot of this can be avoided by all these companies if they throw some T-molding on there as well, right? Obviously, though, it's a little bit more costly. I do agree with this feedback as well. If we're not allowed to get inside the control deck, although we're going to get inside the control deck, find a way to mount the PCB in the back of the cabinet. I think that would be a great idea as well. What other improvements would you guys like to see on the next generation of iArcade cabinets, as well as, what improvements, what options, what features would you guys like to see in 2022 from iArcade? And of course, we're going to talk about the games and all that stuff here. Yes, use wood Gorilla Glue to hold that on there. How to Bachelor says the price $300 complete is what made me pull the trigger. $400 would have been a pass. And yes, the IIR glass I mentioned in my year in review video. That was an awesome upgrade, but the fact that you had to purchase it separately kind of stunk. And I hope next year they just start including all this in. If you're going to charge $800-900 for these cabinets, which is what the original retail price was, would love for them to squeeze these features into there. We got trackball. We got Ethernet connection. I think Ethernet connection is going to be very important, especially if a lot of us are going to be doing some online co-op gaming in the future. Thomas, he says he likes the tape. I must be crazy, LOL. No, I don't think you're crazy, my dude. Upgradable storage is a must? I don't know about that, because so both my units, they have 128 gigabytes on them. And each cabinet I have over 100 games on as of today. And I'm only using up about like 30 gigabytes. So even if I had a 64 gigabyte model, still plenty of space. Still plenty of space. But let me know, you guys in the live chat, do you guys think they should offer more money? I'm sorry, not more memory on these units in 2022. I honestly think like 64, 128, I think that's fine. I mean, just like my Switch, just like my Xbox, my PlayStation, if I'm running low on space and I got more games that I want to play, you simply just uninstall the games you already own that you haven't touched in eons. You don't lose any of your save data. You uninstall the games, though, free up space, put the new games in, and if you ever want to go back to the old games, I mean, we've all been doing this for years on the Switch, the Xbox, and the PlayStation. And you could do that on the iArcade as well if you're running low on space. I think Ethernet is a priority. Ethernet connection. Light up marquee. The storage is overkill. Better storage than flash storage. Rexer's show. At that $300 price for iArcade, I almost went through about buying it and modding it and making it a multicam. Online store a must and new menu system. So yeah, I would love to see as part of their new user interface, because they're working on a new user interface. I would love for that new user interface to obviously look a whole lot prettier, but also give us the ability to access the store from the device. Like, I don't want to have to pick up my phone at all. I just want to do it all on the arcade. So I'm hoping that feature comes out in 2022 as well. A favorites list. Yes, this needs to be added as well. I agree with this 100%. That way, especially if you start loading up on games like I have, so each cabinet now has over 100 games, and there's probably out of those 100 games, probably 15 or so games that I play consistently. The others I just kind of play sporadically. I would love to be able to access those 15 games a lot quicker, right? That would be really cool. And yes, most retro arcade games, they only have megabytes of data. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to run out of space anytime soon. They're very small. I like this idea from How to Bachelor. Save states is a must. My body can't handle long gameplay sessions. I appreciate that. All right, let's head over here, guys, because I want to talk a little bit more about some of this stuff. So, for instance, when you're thinking about the iArcade arcade cabinet, obviously you can put skin on it, like these beautiful skins that they've come up with. And over the last year, we've seen them come out with 9, actually 10 models, if you include the if you include the Mutant Football League cabinet, which is a highly, highly limited edition cabinet. But overall, 9 skins, and the skins are all great. The artwork on the premium bundles, where the artwork's already on the cabinet when you receive it, and the way they do the artwork, it looks great. It stands out. It pops. They've done a fantastic job. But can you imagine, though? Can you imagine if these looked more like real arcades? I think a lot of detractors of the iArcade, if this was shaped more like a North American arcade, I think a lot of folks would be more excited about these products if they just dropped the candy cab design in the next generation. Because when we think about it, guys, a next generation cabinet from iArcade is inevitable. It's going to happen. And I personally believe, and I haven't heard anything, Jong, with CES only a matter of weeks away, Jong, Michael, the team over there, they are doing whatever they can to prevent any information from being leaked out. So just so you guys know, I'm Scout's honor, swear on my son's life. They have not provided me any information about what's coming soon. However, when I look at the signs and the speculation and everything that we know and everything that we assume, I do firmly believe we're going to see a new cabinet release announced at CES. I think it's going to happen. Now, if it doesn't happen, don't murder me, but I think it's going to happen. I mean, they put all the existing inventory on super low clearance savings sales. All that inventory is pretty much sold out of all their skins. What are you going to do now? Are you going to pump out more of these cabinets in the same form factor, or are you going to just come out with a new model? I mean, if you think that they're just going to keep the same cabinet forever, that would be silly. They have to upgrade, right? They have to upgrade. They have to do things. They have to keep attracting new consumers, right? And if you've attracted everyone you were going to attract with this form factor, you got to try something different. So I had one of my graphic artist friends work something up. Now, you guys remember the last time we tried something like this. The last time we tried something like this, we said, "Hey, iiRcade, you gave us that. You gave us a cabinet with like this orange Tron style artwork, but we would love if you take like Dragon's Lair Double Dragon and add some love to this thing, right? Like really throw a skin on there, make it more attractive for people to buy because it'll actually have a title on it." So I had a graphic artist work this up. And I want to know what you guys think, because I have a feeling, in my opinion, that we're going to see a new iiRcade arcade cabinet at CES. So what I have for you right here is a render of what I potentially think this cabinet would look like. And I want to get your guys' opinions, feedback, reactions. This is obviously, the guys, don't go screenshotting this and telling people this is the new iiRcade cabinet. It's not. I had one of my graphic artist friends create this. He's like, "Well, how do you want it to look?" I said, "Well, if you think about it, Arcade1Up obviously has a patent and a trademark on the shape of their cabinets, right? And AtGames is notorious for having the swan shape. All those Arcade1Up cabinets with that cookie cutter shape, I guess is what we call it. All of those cabinets, obviously you can't make them look like that, right? You can't make them look like that. But wouldn't it be cool if, hang on, let's go here. Let me take this off of here. This is what I'm hoping we see from iiRcade. What I would like to see them do is try and let's get a little bit nuts. Let's get some speakers down firing. Let's get that light up marquee, and let's adjust the shape of the cabinet. I think that this would be a much better way to go for this cabinet. Now, obviously, this is just a render. This is just a thought. There's a lot of rumors out there that the next iiRcade arcade cabinet is going to have a trackball spinner, maybe both, or maybe just one or the other. Obviously, on this particular render, we're not seeing that, right? We're not seeing that. So what I would like from you guys is this the kind of stuff you want to see from iiRcade? Do you want to see arcade cabinets that look more like real arcades? Or now that you kind of see an example of one, is this overkill? Is the candy cab design acceptable, fine the way it is? Or is this what we want? Something like this. And obviously this can be modified and made better. I want your honest opinions, guys. Honest opinions, feedback, and reactions. Because I think, in my opinion, guys, I think the key to their success next year is to release a new cabinet, give us a trackball, or give us a spinner, or give us both, as well as adjust the shape of the cabinet. I think we need to get rid of the candy cab design. Now, if you guys like the candy cab design, let me know. And obviously the cabinet needs to be a little bit wider as well if you're going to add additional controls. But let's get that feedback in here. So Stevie B says he's digging the original look. Let's move that up there. He likes this render, thinks it looks good. Add a coin door. This new design would be more popular. I love it. What about a baby iiRcade? Because I wanted you guys to see it, right? Because if you think about it, here's what I worry about, right? The one thing that I worry about is a lot of people say iiRcade should look more like a real arcade. So, but then again, they're an arcade console. And a lot of the games we're going to see from them are going to be console games that play well in an arcade form factor. Like we've seen Retromania Wrestling, Mayhem Brawler, Jetpin Arcade, games like that, Rising Hell. These are games, console games that play well as on an arcade, right? But if you actually make an iiRcade look more like a real arcade, are you going to buy it? You know what I mean? Are you going to buy it? That's the question, right? So I think this would be kind of cool, in my opinion. I like seeing all your guys' feedback here. Meatball, he likes the concept. He'd prefer a little more scaled down marquee. How to Bachelor says he would make sweet love to it. So it's tough, right? It's tough because I was like, well, what does Retromania Wrestling look like on something that's more of an arcade shape? And this is kind of this is kind of what I came up with. Shout out to Kamala, one of my graphic artist friends, who helped put this together for me, so we could kind of see. So, iiRcade, if you're watching, I've noticed a lot of positive reaction to everyone in the live chat. Looks like a lot of people would like an iiRcade that resembles more of a traditional arcade, but also, add your own personal spin twist on it and all that kinds of stuff. I do think that we are going to see a new cabinet from them next year. Absolutely. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see it at CES. iiRcade has 268 games in their store. They have well over 300 games licensed. There's a lot of games that they have licenses for already that they simply haven't made announcements for, either due to NDAs, specific dates on contracts, or because of whatever marketing plan they have for those upcoming titles. But just so you guys know, I know a couple other guys have been putting out videos saying, hey, iiRcade has this license, iiRcade has that license. Just so you guys know, they do have some pretty good stuff under license that hasn't even been officially announced yet. And I think when those announcements come out, hopefully starting at CES, I think the excitement will be really, really increased for that product, as well as shout out to Bash Gaming. So Bash Gaming Studios, they've been a really good partner of iiRcade. If you guys know who Bash is, start putting your feedback in the live chat. Bash Gaming has done a really good job with all the work they're putting in. They're working on a lot of titles that are coming to the iiRcade. They will be online multiplayer. Some of the games, I mean, I want to see what these games look like when they're finalized, right? Like the tank game and the golf game. Like, I really can't say they're going to be awesome. Everything I've seen so far of those games, the first thing that jumps out to me is visually there needs to be some improvements there to some of those games. Like, they really need to add more depth and detail to like that tank game and the bowling game and stuff. But when that stuff does come out, provided they make the games look really cool, I think that'll be a big win as well. But yeah, it was just a quick render, guys. Nothing special. Thanks so much, Kamala, for putting it together. I kind of told him what I wanted it to look like, and he hit it right out of the park. I'm like, I think it would look like this. And watch, guys, when they do announce the next cabinet, it looks totally different than that, right? But I think they're at that point now, right? I think they're at that point where I think they've gone as far as they can. I think they've gone as far as they can with that candy cab shape. I think if they really want to put some butts in some seats, like, you've heard that phrase, right? I think they need to change the shape of the cabinet. So I'm hoping we see a new cabinet shape at CES, as well as some big licenses. And I would love to see on the next cabinet a trackball or a spinner, or both added. But if you guys had to choose between a trackball and a spinner, which one would you take? I would take a trackball. I'll be honest, I would take a trackball over a spinner. But throw that in the live chat, guys. I want to see if you guys would prefer a trackball or a spinner. Dr. Freeman says he thinks Incredible Technologies has something to do with the CES announcement. What do you mean by that? I have no idea what that means. The only thing I could think of with that is, well, if you had a trackball, what kind of games does Incredible Technologies make that involve a trackball? I think we all know that. JWY says trackball. Crumb says trackball. Steep Sales is to clear out the old design. I would agree. People were saying it was a going out of business sale. And I was telling people, guys, they're not going out of business. Come on now. They're not going out of business. They're just trying to get these cabinets out the field. They make more money on the software side, you buying games, than they do on the cabinets anyway. As well as if you got a new cabinet design coming out, might as well get the old ones out. Get them out. A lot of people are saying trackball, so there you go. iiRcade, if you're looking to give us a cabinet with an additional feature built into this Multicade design, RB Wings is the only guy who said spinner in the live chat. No offense, RB Wings. Oh, wait, no, Prince Malcolm threw his spinner in there. And then trackball as well. And Travis is greedy. He wants both. And I would agree. So overall, I think we kind of talked about what iiRcade needs to do next year. Where this is the part of the title of this broadcast was opportunities. In 2022, if they reveal some of these big licenses that they already have signed, as well as continue to add more, like keep trying to get the best of the best games possible, as well as the games that would give us a really good arcade experience. Because I'll be honest, guys, once they like Knights and Guns and games like that, like they're actually a lot of fun to play on this cabinet. They're a lot of fun to play on this cabinet, at least in my opinion. You guys let me know if you feel differently, but Rising Hell, I mean, that's a console game, but it plays so much fun on this cabinet. It's a ton of fun to play on this cabinet. So keep giving us games that provide us a good arcade experience. Give us real T-molding, if at all possible. Include the glass with the machines. Add in a trackball and give us a new shape of the cabinet. Is that asking too much? Are we asking too much? I think a lot of people know. The argument that I've always given on my channel when it comes to Arcade1Ups is, I will pay you more money, Arcade1Up, if you give me the value to justify it, right? If you give me the value to justify it. As of today, I have not purchased a single cabinet in that price range, in the new price range. So it's like, you got to give me the value, right? You got to give me the value. And if iiRcade gives us the value, even if that means, okay, they got to raise their price a little bit more, I think, yes, go big or go home. I think a lot of people would be willing to pay for it. Give us the games, give us a new cabinet shape, give us a trackball, and I think include the glass. Please include the glass. That would be awesome. Pete says, we've been good. The iiRcadians deserve it. Thanks so much, Pete. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. But minus what we want, you do have to admit, that when you look at the year in review, they had 0 games in their store, and over 12 months, they optimized and released 268 games. That is huge. They also added the screen filtering options, the pixel perfect options, the scan line options. They also added jukebox mode, IR glass, the ability for you to take a screen picture, screen capture, online leaderboards, and a track mode, which there's opportunities for improvement, as well as they announced multiplayer, which is going to be released in just a couple of months. We'll get our first wave of multiplayer online games. How can you say they haven't done a lot of work in the last 12 months? That is a lot of work crammed into 12 months. And that's what I like about the brand. That's what I like about the company. And if other people feel differently, I respect their opinion, but that means respect mine. I'm digging what they're doing, and I really appreciate what's going on with this company and this product. And I'm hoping they really surprise us next month at CES, because they plan on being there to reveal some really cool stuff. I'm not going to address any rumors for their show on Wednesday. I haven't heard any rumors for their show on Wednesday. I have no complaints about the process, Papa Brad says, and they are just getting started. So that's our iiRcade Spotlight for this week. I know I kind of went on and on and on there, but I wanted to talk to you guys also. Now, I do recognize the fact that some people just flat out, they don't like the iiRcade, or they don't like the shape of the cabinet. They'll never buy it until the cabinet changes, etc. So what I wanted to do is talk about, let me clear that off my screen here. My apologies. I wanted to talk about the Intec gaming device. So a lot of people, you have an Arcade1Up. I've covered it on my channel. Links are in the video below. Intec Gaming, a lot of YouTubers have covered it. How many of you have put one of these Intec Gaming Control Decks in one of your old Arcade1Up cabinets, and what are you thinking about it? Do you like it, etc.? I wanted to give you some game recommendations. These are all games that I really enjoy, that actually play really well with the Intec gaming device on an Arcade1Up cabinet. And I figured you guys could let me know if you agree, disagree, and things like that. So hopefully we can have some fun doing this. So bear with me here. We're going to have to take our little iiRcade render off of there. And let's pull up our games. I should have added a couple additional screens, but hey, I'm not a professional broadcaster. I'm just a dude having fun with all of you guys. So hopefully you guys are enjoying what we do. We got a $5 super chat from Prince Malcolm. He says, we have to remember that iiRcade has a second headquarters in South Korea. We have no idea how many they have or will sell there, especially the connections. That is true. And let's go ahead and clear that off. Thanks so much for the $5 donation, sir. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. So Intec Gaming on your Nintendo Switch. If you need help learning how to modify your cabinet and add this product, I do have my Intec Gaming review. I walk you through tutorials step by step on how to get this control deck put into an old Arcade1Up cabinet. And there's a lot of cool games that, whatchamacallit, that play really well on this control deck. Now, I wanted to focus today because obviously we can't cover everything. The Nintendo Switch library is so huge and so deep, it's impossible to get like all the games in one thing. So what I wanted to focus on today was the beat 'em up games. And we got some comments already about people. Yes, beat 'em up bundle's great. Please send me the iiRcade render, need updated visuals. I'm waiting on the Switch 1UP pinball control deck. Yes, if you guys haven't heard, they do have a Nintendo Switch control deck that resembles the Legends pinball control deck, where you could add a joystick buttons and actually play Nintendo Switch games on your Arcade1Up pinball machine. So they do have that product coming out as well. I don't have one of those, so I can't tell you if it's good or not. But let's talk about some beat 'em up, guys. So I just recently purchased what is this called? The Takeover. So I just recently purchased this. I was playing it for a few hours the last couple of days. And dudes, this is a hell of an awesome beat 'em up game. It's been out for a bit. I know I'm late to the party, but this game is super cool. Take a look at these graphics, the animations, the fact that you could do combos, all different kinds of combos in this game. The special attacks are really cool in this game as well. So I haven't beaten the game yet. And also you not only do you have the side-scrolling beat 'em up in this game, but you also have like you're in a car and you're like they do car chases and you have to kill people kind of like road blasters, you know what I mean? Like Takeover is really, really cool, guys. If you've played Takeover, let us know in the live chat. This is a fun game to play actually on an arcade machine. So whether you have the Nintendo Switch and you want to play this on your Arcade1Up device, or if you want to, on your At Games Legends Ultimate via Steam, this is a great game to play and try out if you really like these. Now, of course, Mayhem Brawlers, iiRcade has the license for it, so you can purchase this on the iiRcade. But also it is available, of course, on Switch, on PC, on Steam. Mayhem Brawler, another modern beat 'em up. Now, obviously, when you compare the graphics, in my opinion, look better on Takeover. You guys let me know. But keep in mind, too, there are two kind of different styles. Like, Mayhem Brawler was designed, and especially when you go through the story mode, literally they're comic books, right? Comic book pages that you're reading in the story mode. So it's set up to look more like a comic book, I don't think this is really a comic book style, in my opinion. I forget what I should call this style. But the graphics look a little bit better than these do, but Mayhem Brawler is still a fun play, right? Still a fun play. And you could play this with your Nintendo Switch, Intec Gaming, on an Arcade1Up. You could play it on your iiRcade, or you could even play this on your At Games Legends Ultimate machines via Steam and BYOG. Mayhem Brawler did not have online co-op. As of today, it still doesn't, but it will have online co-op potentially on the iiRcade next year. If what's the name of the developer on this one? Hero Concepts signs up for it and works with iiRcade on getting that released. Excellent question. Of course, I love Mayhem Brawler. I've covered Mayhem Brawler a ton on my channel. If you've been following my channel, I really enjoy it, and I'm also really digging the Takeover. So definitely would recommend you guys check that one out. As well as Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl. Now, I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. I know Kevin Smith is kind of a polarizing guy, especially because he kind of wrecked the He-Man franchise a bit with his terrible He-Man cartoon. But if you forget about the He-Man cartoon, Kevin Smith growing up in the 90s and the early 2000s, a lot of us were fans of his movies, Mallrats, Dogma, the whole View Askewniverse and stuff. So I just love anything Kevin Smith, except for He-Man. That's the one thing of his I don't love. Oh, and Jersey Girl. But minus those, right? And what's really cool about this beat-em-up game, and this plays really well on the Intec Gaming Control Deck, is it's another side-scrolling beat-em-up game, but it's set up in an 8-bit style, right? And this game is a lot of fun. I encourage you, if you haven't checked it out yet, check it out. Yes, the Intec Gaming controller is on sale on Amazon. Thanks so much, Travis, for the $5 super chat. Greatly appreciate it. I have a link to it in the video description below. Yes, Kevin Smith is now a villain. He's a super nice guy, but he's now considered a villain just because of what he did with He-Man, right? But Clerks 2, and Clerks 3, they've already filmed. It's coming out. But you guys definitely want to check out... oh yeah, River City Ransom. Nice pull, JWY. VC says he loves Mall Brawl. But again, this is another great game. Plays really well on the Intec gaming device. And of course, you could also play this on your AtGames Legends Ultimate via Steam, via BYOG. All right, let's take a look at the next one. So Capcom Arcade Stadium. Now, we are focusing a lot on the beat-em-ups, but let's not forget that the Capcom Arcade Stadium, if you guys have this on your Switch, obviously you can play a ton of these games with that Intec gaming controller on an Arcade1Up, and there's a whole bunch of stuff here, obviously, right? You got your 1942s, you got, your Ghouls and Ghosts, you got your Final Fight, which is a beat-em-up game, you got your Street Fighter games, Battle Circuit, which is another side-scrolling beat-em-up, etc. So yeah, Capcom Arcade Stadium, you can definitely get that up and running on there as well. But of course, this is one of my favorites, and I highly would recommend this as well, is the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle, specifically for the Intec gaming controller. I have this on my Switch, and I've played all these games. If you like beat 'em up games, this is a great lineup from Capcom. King of Dragons, Captain Commando, Knights of the Round, Final Fight, Warriors of Fate, Armored Warriors, Battle Circuit. And you can play all these games online, all these games with a friend, as well as it's compatible with that Intec gaming controller. You can play these on your Arcade1Up. And what's really cool is, it wasn't until I got this that I actually played Battle Circuit all the way through. Like, we've all played Knights of the Round to the end. We've all played Final Fight to the end. Maybe some of us have played King of Dragons to the end. But when it comes to like Captain Commando and Battle Circuit, I never played those games all the way through until I started playing them on my Intec gaming controller, which is plugged into my Marvel Superheroes cabinet downstairs. Yes, send me an invite. Send me an invite, guys, and we can play. We could play together. I'd be happy to do that. Does the Switch connect to an AtGames Legends Ultimate Mini? Do I need a mod? There's not a control deck to get the Switch working on the AtGames Legends Ultimate Mini, not without doing some, let's just say, vampire tapping of the wires is the easiest way. There's no plug-and-play solution. Let's just put it that way. So yes, would recommend this if you like beat-em-up games and you want to take advantage of that that Intec Gaming Control Deck. And of course, we have to bring it up, right? Streets of Rage 4. God, I love Streets of Rage 4 so much. One of my favorite games. This game is, I think when it comes to modern day beat 'em ups, this is the game that a lot of people kind of now hold as the standard. Like when Mayhem Brawler got announced, people immediately compared it to Streets of Rage. Same thing, people compare the Takeover now to Streets of Rage. It's like everyone loves Streets of Rage 4. This game is just so well done, right? So well done. And it plays really well on your Intec gaming devices. Of course, if iiRcade gets the license, or maybe they already have it, for Streets of Rage 4, obviously this game would be fun to play on their platform. And then, of course, I've made videos on my channel already showing you that this game is compatible with your AtGames Legends Ultimate via Steam, via the BYOG. Smitty gave us a $5 super chat. Thanks so much for the donation. He says, please, Speed Rumbler. There you go. Please, Speedrunner, let us know if you guys agree with Smitty. Mike of All Trades just got here. Mike, good to see you. You're doing a good job on your channel. Keep it up. Really enjoying what Mike of All Trades is doing. And of course, we have our honorable mentions, right? We have games like, Battletoads and all that, Ninja Turtles and things. But in all honesty, these are some of the really cool games. Now, I threw this in here because I was like, okay, those are like the 5 beat 'em ups that I would highly recommend. And then I was starting to dive into vertical shooters, right? And I was like, oh my God, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't keep going is what I said, because I realized I was going down the rabbit hole and then this show would end up being 2 hours long. But obviously, if you like Space Invaders, you can get these games up and running on your Intec gaming controllers very easily. The whole Space Invaders collection is on here. And then, of course, if you're looking for a more modern day Space Invaders, check out Space Invaders Forever. This game is also compatible with that controller, and also you're able to it's a modern take on Space Invaders. It gets kind of crazy. I think I did a live stream gameplay of this on my channel. You can go back and check it out, or just Google or YouTube it, and you guys will be able to find out what all that is. Now, coming soon, because I'm such a big Kevin Smith fan, guys, because I am huge Kevin Smith fan. Just so you guys know, Jay and Silent Bob Brawl, because it was such a success, of course, Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch is coming soon. Have you guys seen the trailers for this? It looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. And whenever this comes out, this game is going to be a ton of fun to play on an arcade machine. Obviously, this is a console beat-em-up game, but look at Mayhem Brawler, Streets of Rage 4. All those games were designed for consoles, but they make a great arcade experience. And look at this. Instead of that 8-bit mall brawl graphics, we're getting more of the modern comic book style graphics. And this game looks killer. You guys really need to check out the trailers on YouTube for this game and stuff. And let me know what you guys think. I think that this one is going to be really cool. Jay and Silent Bob, Chronic Blunt Punch. Try and say that 5 times fast. Everyone say bye to Michael B. I think he's got a show to do tonight. Don't worry, Mike. I'll be wrapping up here in just 1 second. But all these games should hopefully work pretty well with your Intec gaming controllers if you have the Nintendo Switch one and stuff. And hopefully I gave you some good recommendations. You guys let me know in the live chat. I personally like playing a lot of these games. They're the pickup. What's nice about beat 'em ups is they're the pick up and play, right? Next time we do this, we should go down the rabbit hole of like vertical shooters or top-down shooters and things like that. And I think a lot of people, the library is just so vast. There's just no way we could cover it all in one podcast. Yes, iiRcade needs Jay and Silent Bob to join the family. That would be really cool. That would be cool. Now, Intec Gaming has also, if you go to Amazon, not only can you order their Nintendo Switch one, but I think is it pre-orders? There's listings for the Sega Genesis, the Super Nintendo one, where you can actually plug your cartridges in and play those games on the Arcade1Up machine. I have no interest in those. I'm totally fine with just the Switch control deck, but if you have those old cartridges collecting dust, and you want to play them on your arcade cabinet, you do have that option as well. Shooters, man, we would have to do a whole episode. Now, before you guys go, don't go anywhere yet. I gotta let you guys know. You guys may have been wondering, like, PDubs, what happened to T.rOLL? Do you guys like T.rOLL? You guys like T.rOLL? I think we might cancel T.rOLL, but tell me your honest opinions about T.rOLL, and I'm gonna show you what happened here to kind of end things off here. I'll wait for your stuff to pop up here in the live chat, guys. So our boy T.rOLL, apparently I was taking a nap last week, and T.rOLL is not allowed to be on my arcade machines because he's a very violent gamer. He's a professional gamer. He's going to break my stuff. And, he's rude. He curses a lot and things like that. And, well, I just want you guys to know that something happened today that unfortunately, Well, here, maybe I should just tell you what's going to happen. You guys, I know that's our last episode of the year, but be sure you're thinking about us come January, because you got to see how this plays out. Let's see what's going on in the world of T.ROLL. On the next episode of Multicade Mondays, family drama hits home when PDubs wakes up from his nap and discovers that Little Blue, T.ROLL, a professional gamer and co-host, playing on the Arcade1Up Big Blue. The evidence was found. T.ROLL was confronted. What will happen next time on Multicade Mondays? I was so mad at him from what happened today when we had a discussion about the Big Blue cabinet that I wouldn't let him film a segment to be on the show tonight. I wouldn't let him film a segment. So maybe if he's good over the holiday break, we'll see him again. So, but for right now, he's grounded. All right, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed tonight's podcast. I had a lot of fun doing it, and hopefully I gave you some good information. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I think 19K Fox is going to be on later tonight if you like Arcade1Up content. And Michael B. the Game Genie has got a special Christmas episode coming on right after this. So if you guys want to hop over there and do a live stream raid, tell them PDubs sent you and all that stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. Again, I'll probably be off social media the next 2 weeks, but you will see some videos get published over the next 2 weeks on my channel. But if I don't talk to you, I hope all of you guys have a wonderful Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and thanks so much for making 2022 awesome. I'm looking for, or 2021 awesome. Looking forward to hanging out with all of you again in 2022. Merry Christmas, everyone. We'll be talking real soon. If you enjoyed tonight's podcast, give us a thumbs up on the way out. That thumbs up means so much. Leave your comments and feedbacks if you caught the show on replay in the video description below. And as always, my dudes, thank you for subscribing. Talk to you soon.